This is Pat Soundbites Unplugged. Unplugged. The podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
Hey, Pat Calamari here, host of Pat Soundbites Unplugged podcast. Tuesday, February the 4th, episode number 37. Man, things are going good today. Hope you were into February. Hope you had a great weekend. More cool, great interviews as always. I am lining up. And today was no exception. Do you remember the great, legendary, psychedelic, progressive rock band Nektar? Well, certainly I do. Certainly in the 70s. Great albums back then. Down to Earth, Recycled, Remember the Future. Real good stuff. If you're a big fan of prog rock, if you love Pink Floyd, the thing that separated Nektar besides the great music was the visual laser stage show type of atmosphere. It separated them just like almost a Pink Floyd show. Same idea. Only these guys were more conceptual albums. And now in their 50th anniversary, they have an album called The Other Side, and you got to check out all their album covers. The fine print album covers are insane, amazing, just right to the T. Check out their latest album, The Other Side, released on January 24th. It really could be called the Unfinished Business album. I got to talk with Derek Moore, one of the founding members, bassist, vocalist, songwriter, just a super nice guy. Nektar, really a UK band formed in the UK but based out of Germany. Pretty interesting story. Long story short, though, they went through a lot of personnel changes here and there, but they released 10 super good albums, a couple gold records, and here they are today. Back at it. They're going to be playing at Daryl's house on next Wednesday the 12th. Limited tickets are available. They are going on the road supporting this new album, The Other Side, kicking off this Saturday, February 8th in Manchester, New Hampshire. Go to Nektar's, Nektars music.com and check out all the dates for folks outside of here, the New York area. Love this band, love the tracks. I'm on Fire, Skyrider, Drifting, all really good stuff. And they're live streaming these shows. And Derek talks about, for Daryl's house, 6 projectors, all digital liquid lights. I mean, really, really cool stuff. This show is going to sell out. So support this band, catch them on tour, and buy this album, The Other Side. And as always, I got more great stuff coming up, more great interviews. Thank you for supporting my podcast. Keep listening to me on WBXO on Sundays, where I'm keeping new music alive on the radio airways. I will certainly be playing some Nektar this Sunday upcoming, so please listen in. If you have a request, let me know. The request hour from 7 to 8. I take requests from all kinds of genres, so let me know. Go to the WPXO Facebook page, hit the like button, reach out to me, go to my Facebook page, send me a text, send me a Facebook message, and we will get that request out for you. As always, live, love, and laugh a lot, because life is way too short, my friends. Here is Mr. Derek Moore from Nektar. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Moore from the legendary rock band Nektar, and you're listening to Pat's Soundbites Unplugged podcast.
WBXO Classic Rock Redefined in conjunction with Pat Soundbites Unplugged podcast. Awesome to have bassist, vocalist, songwriter, and a founding member of the legendary psychedelic progressive rock band Nektar, Mr. Derek Moore. How are you, Derek, or should I call you Mo?
Either one. Anything's better than Hey You.
I agree to that, Derek. Well, Derek and Prague legends Nektar coming over in our neck of the woods, performing at Daryl's house next Wednesday, February the 12th, in support of their killer new album, I gotta say, The Other Side. All the reserved tables are already sold out. Limited general admission remain. Get your tickets. The show is going to sell out. I can tell you that, folks. Go to darylshouseclub.com or 845-289-0185. My goodness, Derek. Oh, is it over 50 years of Nektar, or close to 50, right?
Yes, it is. It's 50 years. Yes, 50
wow.
years last November, I believe.
Well, congratulations.
We're in our 50th year right now. That's what we're doing. We're touring for the 50th year.
Well, certainly congratulations on that. I mean, when I got the email and found out that you guys were coming over here, and I remember, I think my first taste with Nektar was like Down to Earth, and then it was Recycled, and Remember the Future, and I was in love from Down to Earth, and you had me hooked from then on. And certain things, different group members and personnel changes and so many albums, but glad to see that you guys are back, and it seems like you're having more fun than ever before.
Yeah, we are. What happened was Ron came to me and asked me if I could put a band together. Me and him have played together 55 years. I've been absent a lot. So I had my businesses and I just retired. So I said, yeah, I'll put a band together. And I called Rich up. Rich was with us when he was 21 years old. He was with us, and we wrote a lot of the music from The Other Side in my basement at that time.
Wow.
And so he said, yeah, I'll come. And then I called Mick up to see if he would come and do the live show, and he said, yeah, he was in. And then I called Randy up. He was the bass player after me. And I said, Randy, do you want to be in the band? I'd like you to be in the band. And he said, yeah, I'd love to be in the band. And he plays bass guitar, he plays 12-string, and he plays bass pedals. And so he joined. And then we were looking for a keyboard player because I couldn't get hold of Tar. And Rich said, why don't you try my keyboard player with Flying Dreams, Kendall Scott? So we called Kendall, and he came down, and it was a perfect fit right away. So we had the band felt good from day one. And we fed the band the music that we wrote in 1978 in pieces, so that we could put it together. So I call it boxes. You put a piece in a box, you put another piece in the box, you put another piece in the box, and then you arrange the boxes to do what you wanted to do. And the first piece of music we wrote was The Other Side, which is about 18 minutes. We added some new music in there to bring it together, and then we wrote the words that go over it. Mick came up with The Other Side as a title, and from then it all just fitted together. Everything felt good. It gave us a concept to work with, and the album just grew from there.
Well, you got some really good stuff. I guess the album could have also been called, if I, preparing for my chat with you and reading some of the articles, somewhat of unfinished business, as you mentioned. I think you said you kind of wrote like I'm on Fire and Devil's Dogs back in the 70s, and here's a chance to really get it all together. And one review I'll share with you, which I thought was really cool, and I have to totally agree. One review, one fan says, this is the best recording by Nektar since Recycled. To my ears, the disc is filled with tasty jamming, lots of tempo changing, and ripping guitar and keyboard solos. Pretty good 1970s hippie-ish lyrics to boot. A real return to form for these incredible artists. A very pleasant surprise for Prague fans. And man, I fell in love. The minute I put on I'm on Fire, man, I was like burning with desire, and then came Skyrider, and then came Drifting. I mean, I've listened to it like 4 times, so I applaud you guys for what you're able to accomplish out there, and I encourage everybody to certainly buy the album and go see you guys at Daryl's. Great stuff.
Yeah, we recorded all the basic tracks live, so that's why it's got the feel that it's got, because it was live.
Okay.
Drifting was the first take we did Drifting, and we only added the keyboard and the vocal and the keyboard, the piano underneath it. That's the only thing we added to it. Everything else was live. The whole album has a really great feel to it. I'm very, very pleased with how it turned out. We recorded it at Shorefire Studios down the shore in New Jersey with Joe DeMeo, and he was amazing, absolutely amazing. We just gelled, everything gelled. He was meant to be on that album, and he had a contact for Leon Zerbos, who's one of the top mastering engineers in the world, and he lives now in Australia, and he put us in touch with him. He used to be the head guy at Sterling Music in Sterling Sound in New York. And I got hold of him and I said, we would really like you to master the album. Are you into it? And he said, yeah, I would love to master the album. So we mastered the single, the album, and the vinyl all separately. They all meant for that media.
Wow.
He was spectacular. We absolutely love it.
Well, good things happen to good people, and I'm happy the stars aligned for you guys. What was it like to pick up your bass when you got a Fender, and when Ron calls you and goes, "Hey, let's do this," and you're like, "I haven't done this in 20 years. Are you kidding me?" But once you picked it up, the chemistry's there and the love is there, and look where you're at today, which has got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, I actually intended, originally, I was putting the band together for Ron, and I intended to do the album and then step back and let Randy do the bass and go on tour. But I got sucked in, man. The music is so damn good. I said, no, I've got to play this. And we played with 2 bass players. It's awesome. I've always wanted to try that. And it really works well. It really drives. If you listen to, I'm on Fire, you can hear that bottom end really rocking with 2 basses.
Absolutely.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, and let me just ask it, and I want to ask. I know Ron had a bout with cancer, and it's in remission. How's he doing today? Was all good with Ron?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's in remission. And he told the doctor told him, he got stage 4 cancer. He said, you better cure this thing. I've got to get out and play.
Good for him.
I'm going to tell you, Ron just turned 75 years old.
God bless.
And if you listen to that album and listen to the drums, you would never think he was that old.
No, sir. Like I said, I listened to it 3 or 4 times, and it's contagious. I couldn't shut it down. I'm like, wow. So what's the live show like at Darrow is going to be? I would hope some of the mix of the old stuff, like recycled and remembering the future, and some obviously. Hopefully you got these tracks in there as well.
Yeah, we have a number of these. So far, we've done 8 gigs, I think, and every gig has been different. We're trying to give the fans a little taste. If you want to come to 2 or 3 gigs, you're not going to hear the same show.
Great.
We're going to be playing some of Tab in the Ocean. We're going to be playing some of Recycled. We're going to be playing some of Remember the Future. We're going to play a splash of Journey, some of Sounds Like This, a little bit of all the early albums, all the classic albums through Recycled. We feel that this new album, The Other Side, is the actual follow-up to Recycled.
Oh, okay.
It's the only concept album that's come out, and it's the only album really that's had the continuation of lyrics. The lyrics were always me and Mick, and on this album, it's me and Mick and Rich. Rich is great to work with. What a songwriter! He's great to work with. So we've been writing all the stuff on the album. Once Mick came up with the concept of the other side, the rest of it just fell into place. It just felt great. We changed the order of the songs a few times, because when you change the order of the songs, it changes the story.
Right.
So now the story flows where he meets his girl, she passes, and he's up in the sky writing letters to her, hoping she can read it. And then comes the trip where he goes to the other side and back. It's a musical trip. And then comes Drifting, where he's learned how to fly and he's floating in space and he can see her eyes. And then comes Devil's Door, the trip to Devil's Door and back. And the Devil's Door was from 1974, from the original band.
Okay.
And we decided to use the beginning part from one of the concerts with Roy playing guitar. And I got hold of his wife, Lynn, and she was thrilled that we are going to do that. So she gave us a blessing that we could do that. And that Devil's Door came out great. I was really, really thrilled with it. It's a very different time signature, and it changes time signature for the solo. Same with Drifting. Drifting is like 9/8, sort of 5/4/4/4, you know.
I gotcha.
And then after Devil's Door comes The Light Beyond. The Light Beyond talks about the light that you see before you die. They say that you see light,
right?
And that you pass through that light, and then you hear the voices of the dead. And then comes Look Through Me, which is a beautiful piece of music that was basically live vocal as well on that. And then the last one was Why Can't It Be More Like You? And so the whole album tells a story. And if you own the vinyl, Toppy, the vinyl is a double album. So if you were to play the order instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, if you were to play 2, 1, 4, 3, you get a different story.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We always had the main piece of music, the album title music, like Recycle, like Time in the Ocean, like Remember the Future, was always on side 1 of the album.
Okay.
But on this album, we put the other side on side 2 of the album, or on the other side.
Gotcha. I love it.
So that's the make. Obviously, I'm excited about the album. He's doing really well. I felt it would do well. We did everything we could to make it sound good, and I'm really thrilled with the result.
Well, it sounds fantastic, and we gotta do a shout out for Nick. For fans that maybe have seen you live. I mean, the visual effects and the images. I thought of you guys, back in the day, when Pink Floyd started his stuff, and you guys brought on Mick, and the wonderful visual art effect of following the concept theme brings a whole different element to the show, which is it's insane, which I think is great. Is Mick going to be able to do some of that in the smaller theaters or smaller venues like Daryl's?
We've played in small places before.
Okay.
Mick has everything from, we have a screen that's 30 foot by 15 foot high for the big places. And for the small places, we use white bed sheets along the back.
Okay.
You can't tell the bed sheets, but that's what they are. and we used to do that years ago. When we first started, we played a lot of little clubs. and Mick was always able to adjust. We have right now the light show that we're doing right now is growing. We've gone away from when we did Prog Stock in October. That was the last time that we used the liquid lights.
Okay.
We're now on digital. Everything's digital. We digitized all the liquid lights, and we put it together, and it grew from 2 projectors to 4 projectors to now 6 projectors.
Wow.
So we can really give it a wide scope by overlapping, you know. But I think that no matter how small the venue, the light show is going to be powerful.
Well, this is all great stuff, Derek. I am so happy for you guys, and I encourage everybody to go out and check out this show coming up here at Daryl's. The show is going to, I would put my money on it. The show is going to sell out. There's limited tickets available. If you've never seen Nektar, you have no idea what you're missing. 50th anniversary, and this album, The Other Side, is a killer, and I just can't say enough about it. You know what else always catches my eyes with you guys, Derek, is the fantastic album covers and talk about art. And I think, if I read correctly, you could actually, the fans can purchase some of the art prints, right, off your website?
We haven't got the new one up yet, but we're going to have that up. And you're going to see the thing with. Let me just take you back one little bit.
Okay.
When we did the album, we had to. We needed an album cover, and Helmut Bensker, who's done all our major albums, he doesn't have a computer, so I had to write him a letter. And about 2 weeks later, I got an answer back, and I said, "I'm looking for artwork for a new album. Do you have anything?" And he wrote me back, "Yeah, he had something," and he sent me 3 things that he'd drawn up. And what that was the album cover, the back album cover, and another one that nobody's seen yet. Instantly, I saw the artwork for the front cover. I knew that right away. That was The Other Side. That's what I wanted. And it was like, it's always been like that with us and Helmut. He's always drawn what we were doing. He's always been on the same wavelength. I don't know if it's to do with his birthday being the same day as mine, but I'm going to tell you that could not have depicted The Other Side any better than what he depicted The Other Side.
Absolutely.
It was just absolutely perfect. So was the back cover. The back cover with the waste feeding through his brain. It was just perfect, absolutely perfect.
I'm looking at it now, and if you looked at it and didn't know your music and just went by the title, it gives you a pretty good sense of what this is about. Did he hear the tunes before he drew the cover up, or he just knew the title and had an idea of what you were trying to do?
Yeah, right. He didn't know anything about the music.
Wow. That's insane, man. It's got to be the birthday thing then, Derek.
It's got to be telepathic. When we did Remember the Future, we were probably halfway through writing it when we saw his cover. And we had a song, Bluebird, which wasn't finished. And we saw the cover and we saw the Bluebird man on the back. And that set off the whole story. We'd just seen Frankenstein, the part where Frankenstein goes into the house and he's talking to the blind man, and the blind man, of course, can't see him, so he accepts him. And that whole thing set the story between the Bluebird on the cover and the Frankenstein thing that we saw, and it enhanced what we were doing. You know, I think often music reflects life, and that's exactly how all that happened.
Well,
and this fell into place in exactly the same way.
Boy, he did a magnificent job. You can catch Nektar here locally at Daryl's on Wednesday. Get your tickets today. Go to darylshouseclub.com or call 845-289-0185. Derek and the guys kick off their tour at Manchester, New Hampshire this Saturday. In New York, they're up in Albany on the 20th. They're in Auburn on the 21st. They're in Hamburg up by Buffalo on the 22nd. Go to their website if you're listening from throughout the world, nektarsmusic.com. Derek, congratulations, 50th anniversary, great album. I hope you enjoyed the chat as much as I have.
Yeah, it's been great. One other thing, we are right in the middle of working out live streaming with 4 cameras for Daryl's house.
Wow.
Because we feel it's going to sell out, and we think that we're able to live stream the concert.
That would be, oh my God, that would be great, and it'll definitely sell out, Derek. And Pete does a great job. The staff at Daryl's does a terrific job with all of that. So it's going to be a home run and a half.
So you're going to be there, right?
You know, unfortunately, I can't because I have a family commitment down in Jersey on next Wednesday, and I'm like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? But I might be able to attend the show up in Albany on the 20th. As I look at that, I don't think I got anything planned on my schedule, and it's worth the hour and 10-minute ride up there to see you guys.
Do me a favor, send me your email and your address and everything, and I will make sure that you're on the guest list, and I'll make sure you get a VIP so you can get in a little bit earlier.
Thank you so much, Derek. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. All right, well, there you go. Derek Moore from Nektar. You don't want to miss it. Great guy, great band. This is going to be insane. You got to go check it out. Go to their website. Buy the album. Don't stream. Buy. None of that stealing crap. Buy. These guys work their butts off, and they need to get paid the proper way. So go out and purchase it by all means. Derek, thank you again. We are WBXO. We are classic rock, and we are redefined.